Hello, everyone. I was going to attempt to do my introduction in Spanish, but in the fact that it's so close to lunch, I did not want to give everyone a stomach ache, so I won't attempt that. Okay, what I want to talk about today is the drilling contractor ecosystem, whether it's healthy or hurting. My background is the SVP of Water and Minerals. I have pretty much a global perspective of what's going on in the market, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that I see going on and how it really ties together with what we need to do as an industry going forward and thinking about how we prepare for the recovery as it starts to basically embark upon us now. Like many of you, I'm a geologist. My background's mostly in water and in environmental issues, and I've spent the last probably 7 or 8 years working in the mining space as well. I think it's extremely important how we look at things and what we do to make sure we move things forward in terms of working together to solve problems. I really want to thank Doug and the Discoveries Conference for inviting me to talk. We've been a long-time supporter of Doug and what the MMC is doing. I think it's a great way to bring people together and network them. It's certainly great to see the attendance that's here this year compared to last year, and the conference is growing in importance and responsibility. The last thing I want to do is I want to thank my team from Layne to Mexico. They do a great job. We're very proud of them and what they accomplish. So with that, I'm going to move on to the topic, and I really want to challenge you to think a bit. And I picked the topic, and everybody's probably wondering, why do I call it an ecosystem? And I actually look at it and think about an ecosystem as the way the industry works, is we're in a situation where we're all interdependent upon each other. And when you look at the definition of an ecosystem, it's a group of organisms or entities or companies that work and interact together and also interact with their environment. So we all work together, miners, drilling contractors, suppliers, in addition to the fact that we're working with a macro environment much out of our control in terms of what the price of gold is going to do or the strength of the dollar, et cetera. So I want to share that with you. And when you think about an ecosystem, probably the best one to think about is a situation when you look at coral reefs. Coral reefs are a very complex ecosystem where many different species of fish, et cetera, are living together, all thriving, working in an environment. But I don't know if any of you looked lately, but there's a lot of problems going on with the coral reefs, and I've been writing about it on LinkedIn, is that global change is or climate change is actually causing the reefs to go under a lot of stress, and there's been mass bleaching events that have actually caused the reefs to go into shock. And you've seen the fact that one species can suffer, everybody suffers, and they all go. And so that's sort of the theme of where I came from for this. And again, I pose the question, too, is this, whether it's healthy or hurting, because I see a lot of parallels to what's going on with our industry. Are we in the right position at the right time, et cetera? How are we going to do? There's been 3 downturns now in the last 20 years. There's segments of the population that are, from an age perspective, that are no longer part of the industry. They've moved on to other careers. How do we think about that as we move forward in terms of building the organizations back? So what I'd like to do right now is take and look and talk about this as we go forward. First, I want to start, and by the way, I've done my slides in bilingual because I thought it would be the smart thing to do. Please don't ask me to read them because it would be very, very hard. Anyway, what do drilling contractors do? Our job is to really provide that on-demand expertise to you folks as miners. None of you really want to own drills and have the heartburn and headaches that go with them. Leave that to us. We're the ones that are financially motivated to look and figure out how to do things better. We want to innovate. We want to increase our performance and capabilities so we can do more from you. It's only 5 decades ago that wireline coring was developed, and actually took it from being a very shallow drilling program to the ability to go down to 2,000 meters or more now. And we want to lower costs because what matters to us is we want to increase and maximize the value to you folks. Value is a simple statement of quality over price. If you look at price, you're not getting the whole thing. It's really about looking at quality over price. And here's sort of my depiction and visualization of what the ecosystem looks like. I've actually built it and looked at it and thought of it as like a transmission. Every one of these gears depends upon the other gear to actually make things happen. So on the left-hand side, you see the miners, in the middle, the drilling contractor, and then the things that matter to us that we have to leverage the most, it's labor, consumables, and capital equipment. And we have to make decisions all the time as to what's the best way to spend the money to make sure that we provide the maximum value to you. And you can see the amount of services there that matter. But we're just all linked together, and one gear cannot turn without the other. So we need to all work together and figure out how we do that. Now, clearly, we've gone through everybody can remember these slides and where we were in 2012 and how life